going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort, and China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
It is efficient to charge the American taxpayer $180 billion, all of which we have to borrow, and you say you're doing it to help poor countries, and only 10% is going to poor countries, and even more is going to Russia and to China.
I'm sorry, it's not going to cost the taxpayer $180 billion.
Sure it is. You're going to have to borrow the money. You don't have the money sitting in a checking account.
The IMF.
They're going to redeem those SDRs, not just the poor countries, but China.
There are many countries that can provide hard currencies in return for SDRs, including the United States. If the United States does agree to provide SDRs, it will have to issue treasury bills or debt to do it, but it will also...
I rest my case.
I'm sorry, but it will also earn interest on any amounts that it converts on behalf of other countries, and it will be essentially a wash.
But the money will never be paid back.
And it will pay. There is no money to be paid back.
Sure.
It doesn't matter. The interest that we earn on any excess SDR holdings offsets the cost of issuing treasuries, and it's essentially a wash. And it is not costly.
I disagree with you, Madam Secretary. I think no disrespect, but I think you're wrong. I think we're going to have to borrow all $180 billion of this.
I don't know where you got a number like that from.
Well, when China comes to redeem its SDRs and says we want dollars, where do you think we're going to get the money? We're going to borrow it. I've gone over. I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, but this is an important issue. I'll call you, Madam Secretary.
Okay, I'd be glad to talk about it offline.
Thank you for your time.
Witness, and the witness is antagonistic toward the chairman of the subcommittee. So there's some friction, there's electricity, there's something happening in the air. After the hearing is over, the chairman backslaps the witness and they walk out together. It was just theater. Didn't mean anything. So that was like the saddest thing for me to realize that it was all just theater. Didn't really mean anything. And that's probably the harshest lesson, but that's the realest lesson.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works. Because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that everything is planned out. And we normally go over the funny article first, but of course we went over the funny video first. We had Janet Yellen pushes back on GOP concerning the possible infusion of the IMF reserves. So, guys, we know it's all planned out. We know they look like they're arguing, but at the end of the day, it's all theater. Remember, the bird needs both wings to fly. And we have Janet Yellen supports banks buying back their own shares. Guys, we know she used to work for the actual Fed. We know she's a chess piece, so of course she's going to agree with the banks. And we have the SEC enforcing a new law that could kick some of the Chinese firms off the U.S. exchange. Now remember, guys, we had Trump actually sign an executive order, but nothing happened. Now, how did that happen? I have no idea. You have to explain that to me. We know all of our big banks, big corporations support China. The rise of the dragon and the end to Babylon, America. Now we have Verizon CEO Vestberg is on the BlackRock board. Guys, that means he's in. If you're on the board of BlackRock, he's an official part of the New World Order puppets. Now we have Fidelity to launch Bitcoin ETF as investor giant builds a digital asset business. And we know Fidelity has supported cryptocurrencies from the beginning. And you're talking about they're handling trillions of assets. We will eventually get a Bitcoin ETF, but we need regulation. There's no way you're going to be putting pensions inside of Bitcoin. That would make no sense whatsoever. Not with the volatility, unless you wanted the American people to be brought to their knees. Now we have Viacom CBS stock closes down 23%. And guys, we know that stock is not going anywhere. Not your financial advice, not financial advice. Please do your own research. But a lot of these stocks are taking a hit because of the rising yields. We keep pumping and dumping, like I told you before, that with these yields, we're going to be pumping and dumping. Even though the Fed has the money to control it, they're making money whether it goes up or down. So please take advantage. Now we have 14 GOP state attorney generals sue Biden's administration over oil and gas leasing moratorium. And we know oil plays a big piece in a lot of these American corporations. All this fracking that was going on, they was making all this money. Now all of a sudden you're saying, no, we're going from oil to renewable energy. And they're not going to be able to keep up because they're not as big as the Rockefeller. So we know this was planned to destroy American businesses. Because we know China right now is not winging itself off of oil. We know that for a fact. Now we have the Warren Buffett invested RH. Remember the furniture retailer I went over? The stock, of course, jumped big. We have Tencent online gaming surges. And remember, Tencent is always on my list. Please go check out my gaming videos. We know how big gaming is going to be, and then also the ETFs. Now we have Qualcomm is planning on building a game console. And with everybody sitting at home for a whole year, we know that Americans' habits have changed. The paradigm shift is actually here. I saw people online complaining they couldn't get a DoorDash or Grubhub order because a lot of these people receive stimulus. Like they can't go out and get their own food. We know Americans are lazy, but guess what? That's about to change, and we know it. The only thing that's holding this economy up right now is the Fed. And lastly, guys, we go over the actual indicators. And you already know what happened. The dollar was up, VIX up. The yields were up, and of course, what happened with the stock market? That's right, the stock market was down. Now, how the dollar is getting stronger with all this money printing, we know. The Fed. Because we know when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. That's all I have for you guys. Don't forget to check out the main channel, Crypto Teacher. Learn the new economy, cryptos, blockchain. Like, subscribe. Also, this channel. Like, subscribe, and spread it everywhere. And y'all have a wonderful day.